And welcome to the Thunderbird Christian Elementary 8th grade graduation ceremony. On behalf of the graduating class, thank you for all of you for being here tonight to celebrate this special moment with us. We are so thankful for our families, teachers, friends, and everyone who has supported us throughout our journey. Tonight is a night to celebrate all the memories, accomplishments, friendships, and experiences we have shared together. Thank you for joining us as we celebrate this milestone and look forward to the future ahead. Could you please bow your heads for prayer? Gentlemen, please take your caps off. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together tonight for this special occasion. Thank you for guiding us throughout our years at Thunderbird Christian Elementary and helping us grow academically, spiritually, and personally. Thank you for our teachers, parents, families, and friends who have encouraged us and supported us along the way. As we move on to high school and new experiences, please guide us and help us make wise decisions. Stay strong in our faith and continue to grow into the people you want us to be. Amen.
At this time, we would like to share our class verse, Jeremiah 29:11, a verse that was encouraged and inspired us as we look toward the future. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11.
At this time, I would like to share our class aim, a statement that has guided us and encouraged us throughout our years together. To honor God, respect others, and prepare for our future ahead of us. In our class motto at this time, we would like to share our class motto, a reminder of us of the example we hope to be those around us, representing His light.
All right, so the 8th grade class would like to share a few words with our family, friends, and teachers, and everyone who has supported us throughout this journey. So now is the time to probably take out your tissues, because it's going to be a fun ride. Noah.
Hello, family members, friends, teachers, and most of all, students of the 8th grade class of 2026. My name is Noah Osmus, and I would like to thank you all for attending this event and giving your support. As part of the graduating class, this is a very exciting, long-anticipated, and extremely nerve-wracking moment for me. Last year in 7th grade, I watched the previous 8th grade class graduate, and I was so glad that I was not on that stage. I guess I haven't changed much in that regard. That doesn't mean I haven't changed at all, though. Even though I've only been here 2 years, I've still seen so much growth from me and my fellow classmates and made so many memories with them. I remember that right before the beginning of my 7th grade year, my first year here, the school flooded and we had to use the church's Sabbath school classrooms for all of our classes. That was interesting. It was certainly an exciting change from being in a small private school in Michigan, where the only other teacher I had besides homeroom was band, and the students in each class were half, or sometimes even less than half, the number here. When the school was finally repaired and we were able to return to the normal campus, it was an entirely new experience for me. Now, only 2 years later, we face a similar situation. We're moving on from middle school to high school, a new experience for all of us, with more teachers and bigger classes than we currently have. And while I, and I'm sure my fellow classmates as well, am nervous and maybe even a little scared, that's exactly how I felt before I moved out here, and it turned out to be great and even better than before. That said, none of this would have been possible without the support of all of you, teachers, friends, family, and even my fellow classmates. I want to give special thanks to a few very helpful and prominent figures in my home and school life. First off, I would like to thank my parents for everything they have done for me, from putting up with the extra 20 hours I spent on a random school project for no reason to being there when I need them the most. You guys have been the best parents, even better than I could have asked for, and I am so grateful to have you in my life. You have been a true blessing. I couldn't have done any of this without them. So if you want to congratulate someone, I would suggest going to them before me. I would also like to thank my grandparents, Grandma and Grandpa Osmus, and Grandma and Grandpa Carter. You have been a wonderful and very influential part of my life and have made it 100 times easier for everyone. From doing the Wordle with me every day and having me help you with random chores, to taking care of me while my parents moved and visiting us for random events, you guys have done it all. Seriously, they have. And of course I need to thank my sister. I know I don't get to see you a lot, Mina, but you truly are one heck of a kid. I don't know where you get all the energy from, but I sure have a lot of fun visiting you. I always look forward to our visits, and those moments are some of the best I've ever had. I couldn't have gotten more lucky than having you as my sibling. I also want to thank her parents. Jake and Jess, you guys have been so good to me and my sister. I have so much fun visiting you guys. When we were both rambunctious little kids, Jake, you still somehow managed to manage both me and my sister. You have been a big part of my life ever since I was little, and I'm so glad that you are. And Jess, I don't know how you do it, keeping track of Mina and Jake and making those delicious cookies of yours, but I really appreciate all that you've done for them and for me. I also need to thank my friends. Tony, Alan, Andre, you all have been really good friends to me. Sure, we might tease each other or try to annoy each other for the reaction, but you guys have been good friends, supporting me and each other, and I really appreciate that. Oliver and Sophia, thanks for putting up with my incessant talking, and thanks for the random laughs. And Emily, thanks for introducing me to my favorite book series. I would also like to thank my teacher, Mrs. Markovich. You have been a great teacher, putting up with all the times class got out of hand and giving me more time to do my homework than I probably should have been given. You're really patient and friendly, even when we test the limits of both of these. Thank you, Mrs. Markovich, for somehow making school interesting. And last but not least, I would like to thank the principal and all the staff and teachers as well. You have worked so hard in ways that we don't even see most of the time to organize events, plan classes, and manage all of our students. Thank you for keeping the school running. All of these people who got me here, and all of you who have gotten my classmates here, I thank you. Because you have given us the chance to go far in life, and to do things like high school that we might have never done if we hadn't had help and encouragement and people who actually made us do them. So while I'm a little scared and a lot nervous, it's nice knowing that there's people here who can and will always be here for us. Just like starting school here, high school is a new experience for us. And new experiences can be scary, but they can also be good. So as we go to high school, I hope I, and all of my classmates, remember that we shouldn't let the fear and nervousness overshadow the excitement and possibilities. Because a lot of the time, the new experiences can be even better than the old ones. So, class of 2026, congratulations for making it this far. Now we can make it even farther.
I want to start by thanking God. When I look back to my years in school, I realized it was not about homework or tests. It was the moment that helped us grow. One of the biggest memories I have is going on class trips of 5th and 6th grade, outdoor school in Camp Yavavines. I learned how to be more independent, how to work with others, and how to, those trips weren't just fun, they helped shape who I am today. I didn't just learn from the place I went, I learned from the people around me. I want to thank all my teachers who pushed me, supported me, and I want to thank my piano teacher for teaching me patience, confidence, and how to keep going when the music gets hard. I want to thank my dad for all the projects he helped me, especially the time in the science fair in 6th grade. I also want to thank my mother for all the sacrifices she did, helping me I also want to thank my grandparents for all the times they helped me, taking me to school, picking me up from school, and helping with fundraisers. I also want to thank my uncle for also supporting as well. And to my friends, thank you for the laughs, inside jokes, and the memories, playing soccer and basketball and recess, playing cards and hanging out, having fun. Now I'm stepping into high school, a new chapter, a bigger world, and a chance to become an even better version of myself. I've grown, I learned, I'm ready. Here's to the class of 2026. We made it through middle school, and now we are heading into high school with confidence, courage, and a big dream.
Hello, everyone. I hope you are all doing well this evening. My name is Grace, and I want to say a few words about my time here. First, I would like to say thank you to all the people who helped me get this far. My dad for making me smile after a long day and giving me good advice. My mom for always being there and listening when I talk about the most random things. My brother for encouraging me to keep going and laughing over our jokes together. My dog, Ari, for always being so happy to see me and dropping her toys on my feet to get me moving. My grandma for teaching me how to do things right, especially when they are new. My grandpa for going along with me and everywhere we go and making it fun. Next, I would like to thank my class for being able to make me laugh and supporting me when I needed it. My teacher, Miss Markovich, for helping me figure things out when I get stuck and being patient when I ask a lot of questions. To Emily and Sophia for having so much fun together and being awesome and great friends. To the boys for being so amusing and being great classmates. To my cousins, Oliver and Ugo, for being so happy and making my day better. Thank you all for giving me something to look forward to the next school day. I would also like to thank my previous teachers for helping me grow to where I am today. So many people have impacted my life in ways I am so thankful for. Also, my church family for helping me connect to God and finding my way in life. Speaking of God, I would like to thank Him for the incredible opportunity to meet all these wonderful people. Kind, helpful, happy, amazing people. I have seen people come and go from my life, and I'd like to thank them too for what they did. I keep thinking, and there's so much more I want to say, but it's hard to put it all on paper. To me, this doesn't just represent a year of my life, it represents my whole life so far, and how much I've grown. I owe it all to my family, friends, teacher, church, and to God. If there's one thing I want everyone to know, just one thing, I'll say it. I can't explain my life in one little sentence. A final thank you and congratulations to my fellow students, the class of 2026.
After 9 years of waiting, today is the day that I finally graduate. Have I been anticipating this day since kindergarten? Somewhat, yes. I still remember when I was watching my older cousin Ian graduate 8th grade and wondering what it would be like when I'm graduating. I am certain that 6-year-old me would not be able to imagine how much the school would have changed in those 9 years. And I must say, TCE has changed a lot since 2018. For one, all the teachers except Miss Green have been replaced. Over half of my kindergarten class has moved away or gone to a different school. COVID happened, and the purple monkey bars used to be green. What I'm trying to say is that the world has changed a lot since the last time my dinosaur-obsessed self was on the stage. And that's an interesting thing to realize. The world is constantly changing. You are constantly changing in small, unnoticed ways that you don't realize until you look back. That fact can be a bit scary, but it can also be exciting to see all the new possibilities that could happen. Sometimes you can't even think about what the future would be like because it's so unpredictable. But what I do have to say to you is that yes, the future is unpredictable, but it's not completely out of your control. We can all do small things to change somebody's life, even if it's just a little. We could help our friends or our community to make the tomorrow slightly better than today. Because even if you don't notice now, you could always look back to see the impact you've made. And if you're worried that the future will be bad, just remember that God is always with you, and that He has a plan for the future, a plan that we will all be in heaven, and in the meantime, we will change the world for the better. So I ask that in the face of a changing world, we don't look at it with fear, but with hope that maybe it won't be so bad. I personally am kind of excited for what is the biggest change in my life so far, because I want to know all the new activities and knowledge. Anyway, now that the main speech is done, now it's time for the thank yous. Firstly, I'd like to thank my parents for always being so loving and caring and just helping me in like really bad spots. Secondly, I want to thank my brother Hugo for bringing so much fun into my life and overall just being a great brother. I also want to thank all the people who have taught me over the years for giving me all the knowledge I need so I don't end up homeless. And I want to thank Grace for basically being my conscience and also being the best friend I could ever ask for. And finally, I want to thank everybody here, from my grandparents to complete strangers, for coming here to support me at my graduation. Thank you for listening to my speech, and I'll see y'all again in 2030.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today marks a significant shift in our lives as we move from 8th grade to high school. This is an important milestone, and before anything else, I want to give thanks to God for guiding us and helping us to reach this moment in our lives. I also want to give thanks to my parents for all the opportunities, support, and encouragement that they have given through me throughout this journey. Mamá y papá, quiero que sepan que los quiero mucho y que aprecio todos los esfuerzos y sacrificios que hicieron por mí. También les quiero dar las gracias por las veces que estuvieron ahí para confortarme y hacerme sentir más seguro de mí mismo. También quiero agradecerles a mis abuelos por su amor, sus consejos y por siempre apoyarme en cada paso de mi vida. I also want to recognize my friends, the ones who stood by my side through everything and became more like family to me. Last but not least, I want to thank my former teachers because they are the ones who helped guide us and shape us into who we are today. Over these past years, I've learned a lot about myself. I've worked on becoming more disciplined, more focused, and more confident in who I am. I've been putting in work on things that matter to me, and I'm proud to see the progress I've made. I've also learned that I don't need to follow the crowd. I just want to stay focused and keep improving to become more like myself. I know high school will bring new challenges, especially in the sport I love, but we'll see what happens. I appreciate you all for listening to me. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sofia Markovich, and I hope you are all having a great evening. Standing here today, it's hard to believe how far we've come since I first walked through these doors in 4th grade. Back then, everything felt so much bigger. The hallways seemed longer, the older kids looked like adults, and I was just trying to figure out where I fit in. But over the last 5 years, this place has become so much more than just a school. It's where we grew up. We've shared years of inside jokes, survived the stress of tests and homework, and leaned on each other through the awkwardness of middle school. I realized that while this diploma has my name on it, it actually belongs to all the people who have helped me get to this moment. And in the last 5 years, I've learned that nobody succeeds alone. To my dad, thank you for all the mornings of waking me up and during my bad moods. Thank you for believing in me when I didn't even believe in myself. You were my biggest supporter and inspiration, and I hope I made you proud today. To my mom, not only were you my mom on this journey, but my teacher. I know I wasn't always the easiest kid, but you wore both hats perfectly. Thank you for pushing me to be best of my abilities, and without you, I wouldn't be here who I am today. To Emily, thank you for being the person who always gets me, whether we are obsessing over the things we both love or just hanging out. You have this way of making my mood better, even when I thought it was impossible to. Having someone who shares my interests and truly understands me has made every day better. To Delia, thank you for the constant sunshine you bring. You have a gift for making me smile no matter what's going on. And your kindness is something I admire every single day. And thank you for letting me be 100% myself without ever judging me. To Grace, thank you for being my rock, even when I'm acting a little crazy or stressed out. Your patience and your steady heart have kept me grounded through the toughest situations. And I respect everything you do more than you know. And most importantly, I want to thank God for his constant presence. He has guided my steps from my very first day until now, providing me with strength and the community I needed to reach this milestone. As we all move forward, I am so grateful for the foundation of faith and love that you've all built around me. We started as classmates, we're leaving as a family, and I can't wait to see us all win. Congratulations, class of 2026.
Whoa, it honestly feels like just yesterday I graduated kindergarten. I still remember walking out of the church holding my parents' hand. I was so excited for first grade and so nervous that I could barely sleep the night before. Back then, graduation felt so far away, and somehow I'm standing here before all of you. Over the years, life hasn't been easy. There were rough and rocky times where I felt lost, stressed, or unsure about myself. But one thing I've learned is that people around you can make all the difference. I've been lucky enough to have people who stayed by my side through everything. I want to give a special thanks to my closest friends. You guys have been my closest friends for so long, and I honestly don't know what these years would look without you. From laughs to memories to always being there when I needed someone. Thank you for making this journey unforgettable. Most importantly, I want to thank my family, my mom, my dad, and my sister. I want to thank you guys for always believing me, even in times I didn't believe in myself. To my mom and dad, thank you for your love and support and always being there whenever I needed you. To my sister, thank you for pushing me to do my best and pushing me out of my comfort zone. None of us have gotten here alone. Every teacher, friend, coach, and family member has shaped us into the people we are today. As we move on to our next chapter of our lives, I hope we all remember the memories we made here, the people who supported us, and how far we came. Even though this is the end of one chapter, it's also the beginning of a new one. But I also want to thank God. Thank you, everyone.
Good evening, parents, teachers, and the class of 2026. My name is Emily Salazar. I thought writing the speech would be the easy part, but every time I tried to put this year into words, I ended up hitting delete. I think it's because middle school isn't just one big story, it's 1,000 tiny moments it's the way the classroom was always loud, the specific seat you sat in at lunch, and the friends who became family when things got hard. Trying to fit all that heart into one speech felt impossible. This year, if this year was a novel, the plot would be all over the place. It was messy, it was exhausting, and there were definitely chapters where I didn't think I would make it to the end. But standing here today, I finally figured out what the story is actually about. It's not about the things that went wrong, it's about the people who helped me get it right. When I was elected president, I think I had this idea that I was gonna be I thought I'd be the one leading the way with the perfect script, but the truth is I was right there in the ditch with you. This year wasn't easy, but my job wasn't to be perfect. It was just to make sure we knew we were in this together. We realized that even when the story gets dark, we are the ones holding the ink. I spent a lot of time writing the perfect thank you to my family. But as a writer, I realized that how do you even summarize the people who literally give you the ink to write your life? To my dad, you're the one who always teaches me lessons, like every single day, even when I'm probably rolling my eyes or thinking I already know everything. Those lessons became the structure of my story. You taught me how to be a better person and how to keep going when the plot gets complicated. Thank you for making me stronger, even when I didn't want to admit I needed the help. To my mom, you are the person I turn to when I don't have single words left. Thank you for always being there, not just when not just when things are going great, but in the messy middle of the night moments when I'm overwhelmed. You taught me how to act to be empathetic with people, letting me know that they can talk to me. You're the part of my story, and I honestly don't know where I'll do without you as my safe place. And to my brother, you're 11, so you basically are a professional at this point. You're a little definition of rage bait. You know exactly which buttons to push to make me want to delete my whole life draft. But somehow through all the chaos, you're still my best friend. Thank you for being the person who can make me laugh even when I'm trying to be serious. Our story would be always too quiet without you. Then there's a cast of characters who live the story with me every single day. I'm a writer, but also, well, a lot. The let's hug it out and be friends type, and I had to find people who could handle that. To Sophia, you've been through every right and wrong moment with me. We are the ultimate character dynamic because I'm the touchy over friendly friend, and you're the please don't touch me friend. Thank you for sticking by me anyway and being the balance I needed. To Grace, thank you for dealing with my absolute craziness. There was so many times this year where I was a total mess, whether I was stressing about being president or just having a moment, and you never ran for the exit. You stayed to all the chaos scenes and helped me find the humor in my own mistakes. Thanks for not editing out the too much part of my personality. To Delia, you're the person who understands me in every way. Even when I was speaking in half sentences and broke thoughts, you were there to support me and have my back when it felt like other people didn't really get it. Every time I felt like a side character in my own story, you reminded me why I'm the lead. Thank you for being the person I never had to have my rough draft from. To my teacher, Ms. Markovich, thank you for always, even though I zone out and always never really pay attention in class. Thank you for sticking by me and always being patient with me. To my whole class, because there are only 8 of us, we aren't just a class, we're a team. In a group this small, you can't hide. We saw each other's best days and our absolute worst ones. We went through the plot twist together. Even when it was hard, we made it to the final page as a family. I'm still working on the perfect ending for this speech, but maybe that's the point. 8th grade wasn't so perfect. It was hard, it was beautiful, and it was ours. We're moving on to high school now, and even though we're leaving this building, we're taking the best part of the story with us. Class of 2026, let's go write a bestseller. Thank you. Good evening, teachers, parents, family, friends, and the amazing graduating class of 2026. When I stood before you at the beginning of the year, campaigning to be your class president, I promised I would do my best to represent you. But standing here today, looking at all your faces, I realized something important. I didn't lead this class alone. We led it together. Being your president gave me a front row seat to how incredible this grade really is. I quickly learned that one person can't build a community. Every time we wanted to make something happen this year, whether it was planning an event, organizing a fundraiser, or just bringing more energy to school spirit days, it only worked because you stepped up. Whether I needed ideas, you gave them to me. Whenever we needed participation, you showed up. Every time I felt the pressure of representing our class, someone would remind me that we were all in this together. This presidency wasn't about me leading you, it was about you inspiring me. We've been through a lot to get to this stage. We survived tough exams, dramatic schedule changes. Through it all, our strength was our teamwork. We didn't just learn what was in our textbooks. We learned how to look out for each other. We cheered each other at sports games, clapped the loudest at school plays, and helped each other out when to our teachers and parents, thank you for guiding us and putting up with us. And to the class of 2026, thank you. Thank you for your trust, your help, and for making my journey as your president an absolute honor. We didn't just make it to graduation. We made it here together. Congratulations, we did it.
At this time, it is my honor to introduce our speaker for this evening, Pastor Salazar. Pastor Salazar has become a special part of our school family this year. Not only does he have 2 children at our school, including one of our graduating 8th graders, but he also volunteered to teach Bible classes for the upper grades. We have really enjoyed having him in our classroom and learning from him each week. Tonight, we are excited and thankful that he has agreed to share a message with us as we celebrate this important milestone. Please join me in welcoming Pastor Salazar.
Good evening, everyone, families, teachers, friends, and especially you, graduates. Noah, Tony, Grace, Oliver, Alan, Sophia, Andre, and what's your name? Emily, yeah. Tonight you celebrate a milestone in your life. You crossed the finish line, but you're also here standing to begin something new in your life. Some starts, some beginnings can be excited, but also can be terrifying sometimes. Tonight I want to begin with a couple of confessions. The first one is that I'm not really sure how I ended up here. I'm pretty sure I wasn't the best option for this, but I thank God for giving me this privilege and opportunity. And the second thing that I want to tell you is that, or confess, is that at first I didn't want to be given this commencement speech. To be honest, I was afraid for many reasons, one of them being that English being my second language, I didn't feel quite ready to give this speech. But then I thought, this is exactly the reason why I should do it. Because even if I am afraid, I can be brave enough to do something that scares me. And I know that you can relate to that. Now, let me tell you what I know that you can relate to that. When I was preparing this speech, I kept thinking, what do students your age truly need to hear? What could possibly I say what could I possibly say that will truly matter to you? So I decided that before speaking to you, I should start listening to you. And that began with observation. I listened. And when I listened, one word kept appearing again and again: fear. Fear of high school, fear of failure, fear of not fitting in, fear of not being enough. And maybe some of you sitting here tonight feel that more than you admit it, because you smile in the pictures, you laugh with your friends, but deep down you wonder, what if I'm not ready for what comes next? And tonight, I want you to hear this clearly. Do not be afraid. The Bible repeats this phrase over and over again. Do not fear. Some people say that you can find this message 365 times in the Bible. Why? Because God knew fear will be one of humanity's greatest struggles. But what is beautiful is that almost every time that God says, do not be afraid, He also gives you the reason. Not because life will be easy, not because you will never fail, not even because you are strong enough. The reason is because I am with you. Isaiah 41:10 says, fear not, for I am with you. Because courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is deciding that something else is more important than fear. Tonight, I want to challenge you not to only reject fear, but to replace it with grit. Grit is passion and perseverance. It's the ability to keep going even when things become difficult. Author and researcher Angela Duckworth said, grit is living life like it's a marathon, not a sprint. That means that success is not about who starts the fastest, it's about who refuses to quit. And I'm telling you this because the truth is that fear tells people to stop. Fear says you are not smart enough, you will fail, people will judge you. But grit says try again, grow again, get back up again. And some of the most remarkable people in history were not fearless, but they were people with grit. Nelson Mandela once said, I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. Even courageous people feel fear. The difference is that they don't let fear define their future. Michael Jordan once said, I had failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. Think about that. One of the greatest athletes in history understood something that many people never learn. Failure is not the opposite of success. Sometimes failure is part of becoming successful. And graduates, hear me careful tonight. Your future will not be built by giant moments. It will be built in small daily decisions. The decision to keep going, to work hard, to pray when life gets difficult, to stand back up after disappointment. That is grit. And when you combine grit with faith, something extraordinary happens. Because now, you are not just depending on your own strength. You are walking with the confidence that God is with you. Think about Joshua. He had to lead an entire nation after Moses. Imagine the pressure, imagine the fear. And what did God tell him? Be strong and courageous, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Yes, wherever you go. Into high school, into hard days, into moments of doubt, into moments where you question yourself, God goes with you. So tonight, graduates, this is my challenge to you. First, do not let fear become the loudest voice in your life. Second, do not let fear become your identity. Replace fear with faith. Replace fear with courage. Replace fear with grit. Because the world needs resilient people, faithful people, compassionate people, people who fall down and still rise again. And one day, years from now, I hope that you look back and realize that the moments that scared you the most became the moments that shaped you the most. So, congratulations, class of 2026. Walk forward with grit, walk forward with faith, and above all, walk forward knowing this: God was with you. Thank you, and may God bless you.
At this time, we have some awards that we'd like to give out. We are very fortunate that we are on the same campus as Thunderbird Adventist Academy. And Carissa Ford is here tonight to give out some awards, so come on up.
Well, good evening, graduates, families, and friends. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Carissa Ford. I'm the Director of Advancement and the recruiter at TAA. And on behalf of all the teachers and staff over across the road, I would like to congratulate each of you on this momentous occasion. And congratulations, parents, too. It's quite an accomplishment for all of you. Some of you might already know where you're going to attend high school, and some of you still might be deciding. I know I've seen more than half of your applications come into Thunderbird already, which is super exciting, and I know my colleagues and I are really excited to have you across the road. Each year, because we know going to Adventist education is a financial commitment too, and so each year we like to bring some scholarships over for you guys and award those to you to help a little bit with your tuition. So this year, each of you are getting $425 to go towards your tuition if you decide to come over to Thunderbird Academy. And along with that, because I know you can't eat this, I also am including something that you can take to get a tasty treat, because who doesn't love that? So when I call your name, if you'd come up and get this, and this can be your practice for coming to get your diploma too. So first, Noah. Tony. Grace. Oliver. Alan. Sophia. Andre, and Emily. Again, on behalf of all of us over at Thunderbird Academy, congratulations on this accomplishment.
All right, the next award that we have is one that, as a staff, we watch these students throughout their years, and we look for which one is the best leader. We choose a leadership award, and that student receives a gift card for $100. So this year, our recipient is Emily Salazar. All right, before we watch our video on our 9-year students, we have a special award for them. It is very difficult these days for students to be able to be in a school for 9 years. That's a long time. Life changes, people move, and we even went through COVID. So there's lots of things that have happened in these last few years. But for those that have been here for 9 years, they get a medal, and on the back it has their name engraved and the years that they were at TCE. So my first recipient is Antonio Banderas. Ben Wallace. Oliver Gutierrez. And Alan Lazoya.
As the class of 2026, we are excited to leave a lasting gift for our school. Our class donation, combined with the money already collected, will help build a patio under the tree in front of the school. The stones for the patio were generously donated by TAA and have been waiting near the boys' bathroom for this project to begin. This summer, the patio will be installed to create a beautiful outdoor space where classes can gather and learn for years to come.
This is for the kindergarten teacher. Thank you for being the first teacher to guide many of us through our early school years. Thank you for your patience, kindness, and for helping build the foundation that started us on this journey.
So now, this whole- All right. For the first and second grade teacher, thank you for encouraging us to keep learning, growing, and believing in ourselves. Your care, support, and dedication helped shape us into the students we are today.
To the third and through fifth grade teacher, thank you for challenging us. Thank you for challenging us to work hard, think bigger, and continue growing academically and personally. We appreciate the time, effort, and encouragement you gave us through those important years.
To the 6th through 8th grade teacher, thank you for guiding us through middle school and prepping us for high school. Thank you for your patience, support, encouragement, and for always pushing us to do our best.
PE teacher, thank you for teaching us teamwork, perseverance, disciplines, and sportsmanship. Thank you for encouraging us to stay active, work together, and always give our best effort.
Is Mrs. Tomas here? Okay, we'll just thank her anyway.
Thank you to our band teacher. Thank you for sharing your love of music with us and help us grow in confidence, creativity, and teamwork. Thank you for your patience and dedication as you guide us through practice and performances.
Principal, thank you for your leadership, guidance, and constant support throughout our years at Thunderbird Christian Elementary. Thank you for caring about each student and for helping create a school environment where we could learn, grow, and succeed.
And we have one more teacher appreciation gift that we'd like to give out.
There are no words to describe how grateful we are for all the teachers and for the care that you give to our children every single day, for the late nights of work that we all know because we texted, for the weekends of work and everything that you guys have all done for our children. And tonight, we want to say a special thank you to our homeroom teacher, Mrs. Markovic. Thank you so much for supporting them, for always planning fun activities for them, and for also bringing the super duo with your husband here, who also was always very involved, and he substituted times. And thank you so much, Mr. Markovic, for your support, and thank you, Ms. Markovic.
All right, now it is time we've all been waiting for. It is diploma time. So first person we want to call out is Noah Osmus. Antonio Banuelos. Grace Castillo. Oliver Gutierrez. Alan Lazoya Flores. Sofia Markovic. Andre Piedra. Emily Salazar Legra. At this time, I invite, well, actually, 8th grade, have a seat. At this time, I invite the current 7th graders to stand and turn around and face your family. It is my honor and privilege to introduce the incoming 8th grade class of 2027. If I could have all the graduates please stand. It is my privilege and honor to introduce the new graduated class of 2026 of Thunderbird Christian Elementary and the upcoming class of 2030. Congratulations all. New 8th graders, please rise. Alan, will you have our benediction, please?
Please bow your heads for prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for this special evening, for allowing us to celebrate this important milestone together. Thank you for guiding the class of 2026 throughout their years at Thunderbird Christian Elementary, and for the memories, friendships, lessons, and experiences we have shared. As we move forward into a new chapter of our life, we ask you that you continue to guide us, protect us, and help us grow in wisdom, kindness, faith, and character. Help us to always honor you in the choices we make, to be a light to those around us. Please bless our families, teachers, and friends who have supported us every step of the way. Thank you for their love, encouragement, and sacrifices. May we leave tonight with grateful hearts and excitement for the future ahead. In your name we pray, amen.